And welcome to Local Talk right here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. This is recorded for presentation this time. Today, this is David Richardson, the president of the Granville County School Board. My friend, how are you? You have been extremely busy, so I thank you for spending just a few moments of your time with us today.
Yes, sir. Doing well. Just always glad to come and be with you and talk about one of the things I'm passionate about, and that's our students here in Granville County.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing with regarding the school system. Things are starting to look up, and you had a meeting yesterday, a school board meeting, which they approved some district leadership changes, some education roles. So let's kind of dive right in. The big news right now, you did announce Kevin Farrell, the new principal of South Granville High School.
Yes, sir. We're very excited about Kevin being named as principal. Mr. Farrell actually has history with Granville County. He taught at South Granville for many years when he first started teaching. He was a social studies teacher as well as a very accomplished baseball coach and athletic director. And then Kevin went on to Wake County to be an assistant principal. And so we are excited to have him come back and be home at South Granville. We've always said once a Viking, always a Viking, and we can prove that true with this. But we're very excited about the direction that change will be heading that school. I know the staff will be excited to hear that. I think it'll be a good thing for our community as well.
Absolutely. And David Richardson, the president of the school board of Granville County, joins us right here on our Local Talk program. And it's always good to be able to bring back some kind of normalcy to a situation. And that's a terrible word for you, situation, but that's what it is regarding bringing back a principal and things like that. So what are some of the superintendent for South Granville and things like that? What are they saying about this new hire?
So as far as bringing Kevin back, I think it's going to be a great deal that he has that history with South Granville, but also what he's learned as being an assistant principal at a very large high school in Wake County. And so just in hearing the superintendent talk about it, she said that she was very happy that he'd be rejoining the Granville County family and that he come highly recommended and will be serving a community which he calls home. He's a Granville County resident, and so that's always a great thing to be able to see a school flourish under leadership there, a local guy. I think we've come far with South Granville, and now he's going to pick up the baton and keep it rolling.
Such a great, rich history for South Granville, so that's fantastic to hear. Another news breaking from the school board meeting just yesterday that you announced a new assistant principal to Butner STEM Elementary School.
Yes. We've made several different changes there across the board. Usually this time in summertime is when we start seeing those. And so we've moved some assistant principals around strategically for several reasons, either just making sure we have good, strong teams or making sure that we're imparting knowledge to our next generation of principals. And so we've been very excited about seeing some of these changes. Most of them are just moving around people that are already with us and just kind of making sure they're in the right seat. And so Shanna Harris will be the assistant principal of Butner STEM Elementary. We've also seen Sophia McMahon moving as the assistant principal over at South Granville with Mr. Farrell. And so those school level position changes are really, I believe, setting up our schools for success next year.
Again, David Richardson right here on our Local Talk program. He is the president of the school board of Granville County. Now, along with these new positions, announcements regarding South Granville and Butner STEM Elementary School, you also had a discussion and approval for sufficient staffing changes and leadership structure to the district. Talk about what this does and what it really, it's a lot of words, but in your own words, talk about what this means.
Yes, sir. So probably about a month or two ago, we received notice that Dr. Michael Myrick, who serves as our assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, would be resigning to take his own district, Weldon City. So we're very excited for him as that move. But as he moved, it gave us the opportunity to kind of restructure central office. And the Central Services Department, one thing Dr. McLean kind of offered her thoughts on was, while the school board is tasked with handling school reorganization, and that's what we're working on now, that she too is tasked with streamlining her staffing. And so we're very excited with the moves around. We have elevated Dr. Stan Winborn to our new Associate Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction. We've done away with one assistant superintendent position, so that gave us a reduction in positions. We also reduced some of our director levels from 16 down to 12, and we were able to move some of those people into roles that are school-based now, or we're using grant funding for them. And so that entire department, curriculum instruction, student services, has kind of been reorganized to play to people's strengths and to make sure that we're dividing out the appropriate jobs to different people. No one in central office wears less than one hat. So most of them are wearing 4 and 5 hats. But so we're seeing quite a few changes there. And all of that is to best serve our students while being good stewards of the money that we've been given from the state and local dollars to do these things.
And as you know, and everybody knows in our community knows, that money takes it's a big toll on what we're allowed to do and what we're supposed to do. So things like this to kind of create more dollars, bring back into our community, bring back into our schools, can never be a bad thing.
Correct. Yes, sir. Unfortunately, the world revolves around and moves with money. And so is education, that there is a finite pool of resources, and we just have to make the best decisions we can to make sure that we're offering the very best education to our students.
And talk about, and we'll get into the consolidation here, part of our last segment here this morning on our Local Talk program. Again, David Richardson joins us here for our Local Talk, recorded for presentation at this time. He's the president of the school board here in Granville County. For that money that is being saved, regarding the elimination of one assistant superintendent position, like you mentioned, a reduction of the number of director level salary positions, restructure the entire curriculum and instruction of student service department, a shift of multiple district-based positions to school-based positions, and use of grant funding to pay for school-based positions. You mentioned before. Regarding the money situation to help bring back into our community, what does it, is it a pro, and list both of them, the pro and the cons of doing things like this way?
So the pro is yes. So we always want to be as efficient as possible and spend our money wisely. So by doing some of these things, it frees up state dollars, typically that are being used for central office to be used for other things. We have been operating at a deficit because of cuts that have happened from the state level as well as local dollars. And so this definitely kind of gives you a little breathing room. You know how you get an extra little bit in your paycheck at home, it gives you breathing room. This is kind of the same thought there. And by having that breathing room, we're able to be a little more nimble and able to put more resources directly back into the classroom. The cons of that is always just making sure that people understand that we're doing this for the best of the district, that as we move people around, obviously people get a different point in their talents and in their skills and their careers, and they want to try new challenges. And so that's kind of what we're seeing here. And I think just overall, we have started – we've had a team assembled for quite a while, and we're starting to get people in the right seats. And I just really think you're going to be seeing some rocking and rolling real soon on the level of where our schools are because of some of these shifts. It's going to put those resources and that support right back into the classroom, which is where it needs to be.
You know, that's my number one saying. I love that saying, ready to rock and roll. I love that because that means a positive is leading into the new school year. Yes. And so that's always a great thing. And that kind of leads us into our next discussion about, school starting back in August. How is that looking for Granville County?
Man, we are so excited about the next school year. So yesterday at our board meeting, that kind of finalizes the 2021 school year. And in my remarks to the board, one of the things I said, I couldn't come up with anything witty or funny to say, but I simply just wanted to tell people thank you for hanging in there with us last year. We have incredible students that push through with their families. We have incredible educators and staff that have done a wonderful job in such a hard year. But moving into the 21-22 school year, we're very excited. We will be back 5 days a week, face to face. That'll be a big change from the last 18 or so months. And so we're very happy about that. And then, but we are also giving our families who are not quite ready to come back, not quite comfortable, the opportunity to still get a great quality education through our new 5-star academy, which will be ran through Granville Academy. I believe we've talked about that program a little bit on this radio show. That's just a great opportunity for our families that have the access to technology that we can come alongside of and offer a great education for them. But as we move back into the new year, again, 5 days face to face, these people being in these positions, our changes in leadership, we are constantly looking for great talent to put into the classroom. We got a report yesterday that we still have several vacancies. And so we are looking hard and hoping we get the very right best people to be in the right seat in the classroom as well. And as all that starts coming together, that I'm just really excited about having a normal year to go back and look at kind of where we are with our academic progression, how we can support students to kind of be where they need to be, and at the same time making sure that we honor the commitments that our educators have given us. And so I'm just very excited about it. I was thinking the other day that as we closed out this year, I'm already getting excited about convocation and first day of school and all the things that surround that opening of school next year.
Absolutely love it. Now, this leads into our final topic of this morning for our local talk program. Once again, David Richardson joins us here on our local talk regarding, or he is the president of the school board here in Granville County. Now, consolidation is a big question still lingering in not only public schools, but in the community of Granville County in general. Talk about some of the discussion that you had last night at your school board meeting.
So around the idea of consolidation, we are still working real hard with our board. This has been an ongoing conversation for a couple years in some ways. But originally, at the beginning of this year, we really started focusing on what would we do to accommodate the fact that we need to find physical space for our students at Hawley Middle School. I think you and I spoke. We met with the commissioners back in March and presented a proposal to them. Hawley has quite a bit of age on it, has quite a few capital needs. And so our proposal to the commissioners was to do a $22 million renovation of that building. They were not interested in being able to fund that, but gave us some suggestions to look at as far as how we could reduce our footprint by consolidating some schools. And so the board has been working through those scenarios of what that looks like. You and I have had several conversations of where those scenarios were heading at one time. So fast forward, we've kind of gone through the process of looking at those scenarios, adding some scenarios to it. Our board has spent probably the last 3 weeks in work sessions to determine kind of what information we need. How are we making these decisions? One of the key factors that our board wants more of is they need some more community input. And so we have paused the discussion on scenarios. We have engaged a research partner of ours that will help us produce and analyze a survey that will be going out later this week, probably Friday morning. That survey will be available all next week. Our families will get that through email. They will also be available on the district website or at their schools. For those that may not have technology, they can go to the school to fill that out. We are encouraging all Granville County Public School families to give us their feedback on those 4 questions we're asking. We're also encouraging charter school families that are served here in Granville County, as well as just the overall citizen of Granville County, because that helps us know what the community's thoughts are as we move forward on consolidation and restructuring. And so there were four main questions that we're asking. We will take those all next week. They'll be analyzed the week after that. And then the school board will meet on July 20th to receive that information and to be able to consider what some next steps are as far as the consolidation work. We're kind of at the point that we need the community feedback to kind of fuel our next steps. And so I'm very excited that once we get to July 20th, that once we get that information, that we'll see some clear answers from our community.
Absolutely love it. David, we can't thank you enough for joining us here in our local talk program, and especially for what you do for our community of Granville County. Continue doing your great things, okay?
I appreciate it, sir. And thank you so much for your support of Granville County Schools, always giving us the opportunity to tell the story of what we're doing. And we're just excited that story, this new chapter, what it's going to look like this year.
Hey, like your image says, your digital logo says, it's a new day moving forward together in 2021. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Again, this is Local Talk here on Next Door Radio and nextdoorradio.com. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates from the Granville County School Board right here on our Local Talk program and Next Door. We will see you later.